Welcome to tonight. We're starting out. She's going to have to answer some tough questions here in just a second, but it's only fair that their audience takes the turn answering some tough questions, and they have a chance at winning some lovely sauces here that they can take home. Some of them hot, not so much. But we have 7 questions because it's District 7. For 7 questions for District 7.
Yeah.
And since Rachel Byrne is also a firefighter, our trivia questions are dealing with firefighting. So let's see how much you know about this to see if you can get the answers. What famous forefather of America is also considered the father of American fire service, founding the first volunteer fire company in 1736? Famous forefather.
Was not in Hamilton, so.
I know it was. So you Hamilton fans are tough out of luck. It is not included in there. All right. Question 2. In 2023, the Iowa Professional Firefighters Association celebrated what major birthday?
I know that one.
What major birthday? So it's a big one. Like here in the United States, we're going to be celebrating 250 next year. What major one do you think they celebrated in 2023? Question 2.
Not even trying.
You said 2023?
2023. How old do you think it was in 2023? Iowa Professional Firefighter. How old was it in
Are you talking
2023?
about Iowa only?
Iowa only. Iowa only. Yep, the Iowa one only. All right. Yeah, there's some that are just local. Here's one that's more national. In 1874, Fire Captain David Pinion invented the fire pole in what major U.S. city? It's a major U.S. city. Another major city. 1874. Invented the fire pole. Because you all want to slide down. Have you got to do that?
We don't have a 2-story station. So
You didn't get that one?
we're on some state grants.
Hopefully, Rachel will know this next one. If not, she might be in trouble here.
No, we're gonna find it.
Okay. The question number 4. Question number 4. Modern firefighters must be able to get dressed in under how many minutes?
Ooh.
Modern firefighters must be able to get dressed in under how many minutes?
Is that bunker gear or bunker gear and their bunker? I don't know what to say.
Question number 5. Marking the start of state-level fire training in the United States, not just in Iowa, in the United States, Iowa held its first fire school in 1925 at what college? So it's an Iowa college, still around today, was back in 1925, and it held the first ever fire school in Iowa, which was the first ever statewide training for any state.
How are they holding it in Iowa?
It is not where they have an actual, it's in Iowa. Yep, it's Iowa State Training, so it's in Iowa, what major college?
These are. You're burnt.
It is, they are kind of tough. I tried to give some choices a little bit, but they were tough.
Then you will all have empathy.
He's not like wait, tell with multiple choice. Or-
No.
Next one, you got a 1 in 50 shot, because it's a state you got to name, so.
Start with an I.
All right, on October 9th, 1871, the infamous Chicago fire killed 300 people. But an even more tragic fire happened that same day, killing 1,200 people. Where is that fire at? What state? So in October 9th, 1871, the Chicago fire killed 300 people. There was a more tragic fire on the same day in what state? Killing 1,200 people. So name the state.
Amber.
It's Chicago. Okay, say it right, Chicago fire. I will work on it. Yes, yes. Okay. So the next one, I'm looking for a percentage, and I'm looking to the nearest 10. So like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, right? So nearest 10. Okay. What percentage of Iowa firefighters are volunteer? What percentage of Iowa firefighters are volunteer?
A lot. 10%. Yeah, whatever you think.
And that should be 7, right? All right, so what's gonna happen is I will come around and collect them and grade them, and at the end of the session, yes, I know, Miss Rouse is getting her grade on. Get my red pen out, check them all, and we'll announce the winner at the end.
Names on them.
Yeah, make sure your name's on
Right,
it.
my Ghibli.
Maybe I don't. We're gonna turn it over to Nikki, who is gonna answer our questions as they.
No, we're right.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to remind us.
I'm hoping you can hear me online. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Nikki Conrad. It is my pleasure to introduce a candidate who is stepping up to give Iowans a strong voice and real choice for Iowa House District 7, Rachel Byrne.
Thank you.
Spent nearly 2 decades as a speech language pathologist in our public schools, helping children find their voices and reach their potential. She's also served as a volunteer firefighter and EMT for more than a decade, someone who knows firsthand what it means to respond to the needs of our communities. Now she's bringing that same spirit of service and compassion to public office. Rachel's running for the Iowa House to fight for quality public education, affordable health care, strong rural communities, and economic fairness for working Iowans. She understands the challenges families face because she's lived them, and she's ready to make sure the people of House District 7 are heard at the state capitol. Please join me in welcoming Rachel Byrne. Okay, so the concept behind this Q&A is the show From First We Feast, Hot Ones, which we are going to ask a series of, I'm going to ask a series of questions of Rachel, and then we are going to, she has chicken wings, I have cauliflower wings, and we are going to dip them in sauces from mild to blazing hot. Very nervous about this and wondered whose idea this was. So let's get on with it. I think our first
Do we have thoughts first or question
I
first?
think we sauce first.
Okay.
This is our mild one. I think the garlic parm, I think.
They have the same sauces.
Not on everyone, no.
Please don't. Jump in. Blaze away.
I'm like, it's only
Then you have.
okay.
Delicious.
Oh, good flavor.
A little peppery, but not hot.
I got a guest in the car with me on the ride home who's not gonna like me, I think. With all that garlic. Okay.
It's a good choice.
So what inspired you to move from education and emergency response into public service and office?
Let me get a white here.
Okay, don't put your eyes.
Essentially somebody has to do it, right? And so my lifetime of public service in education as a first responder has really led me to be prepared for this role, to serve more Iowans. And I think it's a natural progression, and I think this district hasn't really had a choice in a very long time.
That's very true, very good. How have your years as a speech language pathologist and EMT shaped your understanding of the challenges that rural Iowans face?
I think, well, as a speech pathologist, I have specialized primarily in autism, but have worked with obviously all groups, all ages in the preschool, really birth to 3 and preschool through 12th grade education system. And that has really taught me how to meet people where they are, whether that's kids or families when we're having meetings, or, teachers that want ways to help with communication skills in the classroom. And I think that idea of being able to understand and explain complex topics at whatever's the appropriate level for whoever the group is that we're talking to, I think is one thing that has helped there.
How has the AEA been affected in your house district after what happened in the state?
The AEA is being dismantled, and it's been coming for a few years now. This attack on the AEA, the change in the funding to now have to flow through the schools and put some hard decisions on the schools. And, as the speech therapists were already spread thin. The whole AEA staff is spread thin. Yesterday I was knocking doors in Manson, and I talked to a retired teacher of the deaf and hard of hearing who is hearing hearing and seeing the same things that I am. But one example is people are looking for other work, and their job security isn't there, and it makes it hard to give your best every day to the work that you are good at when you think that job might not be there. Or, I'm already driving to 7 schools, maybe next year I'll have to drive to 14 schools because that's the way the funding is going. It doesn't let you give enough to each kid to get them caught up to their peers if that's the goal. And I've had many speech therapists from multiple AEAs reach out to me and ask, hey, Rachel, how did you start your private practice? And I'm thinking about doing the same. I'm thinking about leaving the AEA, and that makes me really upset for the future of our kids with special needs.
Yeah, no kidding. So speaking of schools, you've spoken out about the need to support public schools and end the private school voucher program. How would you address parents who see vouchers as offering choice?
I think I can tell some personal stories about the choices that have been available to me as a parent. My kids have both been open enrolled actually to 2 different districts outside of our home district. So open enrollment is still a choice. My kids have spent some time homeschooling, so homeschooling is still a choice. But in public education, we need standards and expectations and accountability. And so the issue with dumping hundreds of millions of dollars of tax money into this corrupt school voucher system is there's no accountability on those funds. There's no ability to audit those funds. Some of that money goes directly to parents, and then they can choose like, hey, do I want to donate it to the church, and the church flows it over to the school, or we don't know. We don't really know what's happening, but the religious schools don't have the standards that we're holding our public schools to, and they don't have the requirements to report on really what's happening and how kids are doing. And so I would emphasize that parents still have choice. You may choose to send your kid to whatever school you want to, but the taxpayers don't need to be paying for a program that's completely corrupt and is taking away from public school funding. Thank you.
Do another little dippy dip?
Sure. I mean, it's here.
And I'm starving.
We don't want to waste.
Oh. As you all get to just watch us eat. There are snacks, by the way. I'm sorry if you're missing it, but there are snacks here in Gowrie. By the way, we are here in Gowrie and we're really happy to be here. I've been here several times when they talked about putting the go in Gowrie. So we know this is a community on the move. Let's just kind of go back a little bit. I mean, why you decided, why now, why the State House?
You know, I was made aware of the opportunity for this seat for 2026 by my friend Ryan Melton, who ran twice for US House, and most of us know and love. And I think the way he's been so vocal in trying to find candidates and encourage candidates to run has really helped our state, and especially District 4, find some qualified people who are willing to put this work in. But I also would say that maybe women, and maybe it's of our generation, are kind of maybe taught to have this mindset that we can't do anything until we're going to be perfect at it, or until we're the most qualified. And guess what? There wasn't anybody else stepping up, so nobody was looking more qualified. This summer, I heard Jess Piper speak from Blue, Missouri, and she said women have to be told 7 times they should run before they run. And I knew when she said that was the first time. I was like, oh, that one hit me. So that's a part of it. But really seeing our country, our government, our legal system being dismantled over the past year has been painful. And on top of that, I've seen so much like individual level pain and despair as an EMT, as a medical examiner, investigator. I've seen some suicides and homicides this summer that nobody should ever have to see. And some of that really kicked me into gear. Like, guys, it's time. We need a choice. We need somebody to put in the work and stand up and do this.
Well, that is a great point. So you decided to run prior to the current representative. So
I did, yes. So I have been thinking about this and receiving maybe unwanted encouragement at times from some people. Before I realized, hey, I am qualified. I've been a public servant my entire life. I know education, I know healthcare, I know how to listen to people, and I'm a regular working person with a lot of the same problems as the rest of regular working Iowans. And so I announced that I would run on September 13th, and then I think about a week later, we were actually eating hot wings as a family. And I got an email from the SAC News through Patreon that was like, our representative has resigned. And then I knew right then that means special election, and I knew what that right now.
Yeah, how does that affect everything that you're doing? Because you're thinking you have a lot of time before the next election. You have, what, some time? I don't know, a map.
Yeah, like a year.
Right? And then the next election, and now you have a matter of months. So how does that change how you campaign?
You know, I think it's really a gift. I think special election is a gift to our district that we can use to show up and say we want change and we want it now, and then bring on other districts around us next year along with us. But it means I'm doing everything fast, and my days pretty much, weekends are packed full. It's door knocking, it's talking to people, it's going to events, it's trying to manage the social media and the banking. And it's been a lot, but we know there's an end in sight. We have a countdown of days, and we know by December 9th, we might get a little breather.
December 9th. And I know you have a very strong support system in your family,
We do, yeah.
which is great. Let's give them a How can somebody, if they're interested in what they're hearing tonight, how can they support you in that same way?
You know, I've been asking for volunteers and I've had a good response to that. I've been asking for donations. I've had a good response to that. What I really need from this community is for people to be brave. And it's hard right now. It's hard to talk to your neighbors who you don't agree with and your family members who you stopped talking to after the election last November, but that's what we need to do right now is connect with people, find common ground, and one example right now is yard signs. I've had some yard signs out that have been stolen, which certainly sends an interesting message. But I've also had some people on the fence about like, yes, I'm a Rachel supporter. I want change for this district so badly. I'm going to vote for you. I'm going to tell my friends. I'm going to write postcards, but I don't know if I can put a yard sign out. And so I really encourage people like, now's the time to stand up, be brave and be visible to make somebody else feel encouraged, make someone else feel safe, and to just send that message that we are ready for something different than the status quo that we've had for years and years here.
All right, well, speaking of something different, we're gonna go to our second sauce. This is the mild. That was easy. This one's mild.
Like pre-mild,
I got
Okay.
go.
what'd you get? Oh,
Did I?
I got medium, did you get medium?
You get,
Oh, I remember you accidentally got two.
I think I-
If you'll be down and give you.
I got medium already.
do you think I should eat the medium?
No, I think you should do you. I'm all about choice and voice. I'll put myself out there. Cheers, cheers.
What, and I do have like a tiny little bit, and I'm like, yeah. Like,
Because you're really wild. Right. I'll take a look here for sure, thank you.
Ooh, that's good. That's a traditional, I think that's a traditional buffalo wing sauce.
So you do this one.
I like this.
I would order that again.
That's good. I'm gonna do it alone. So just in case, we planned ahead. Rachel has, what kind of sauce do you have to cut the heat?
Oh, I have blue cheese.
We gave her one blue cheese.
Nikki
And
got,
I got 3 ranches. So that tells you the confidence level that I have. We also have milk, which apparently is better suited to take care of hot sauce than the traditional water. And then look what I got for
I special requested.
Assorted-
Flavor of tongue.
assorted berries tums for the right one.
Yeah. Sleep tonight.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, well, that was good. That had a nice little vinegary character. Let's have to. Oh, in there. We'll do. Yeah. Wow. Okay, we're moving from schools and your history of trying to, or about to run and finding out. Healthcare is a major issue, not only in your campaign, but I think every campaign out there right
I
now.
hope so.
I hope so too. So what are the first steps that you would take to improve healthcare and access and affordability in rural Iowa?
So an interesting thing about this seat in this special election is that we have a chance to break a GOP supermajority in Iowa. And what that means is right now, at least until this seat was vacated, the GOP could vote in whatever they felt like without really any balance of power or discussion or accountability. So the ability to flip this one seat brings just a little more balance to our state house. And with that, I think we can start undoing some of the deep damage that was done this year. I am very disturbed about Medicaid cuts, and that is going to affect our most vulnerable populations. It's people with disabilities, it's young mothers, it's children, and it's affecting the whole system. As a healthcare provider, I do my own insurance billing, and I'll tell you, it's already getting harder. I'm already getting so many prior authorizations that in the past would be approved with the level of detail I put into my reporting that are now getting denied, I have to send back through appeal, and that's a problem. So I think that's one of the first goals in healthcare is slow the roll on the damage that's being done and undo that. But what ties into that happened this legislative session is the change in tax brackets for Iowa income tax, because that's affecting our revenue, which means we don't have the funds to put into these programs that we so desperately need. So, right now in Iowa, there are no more tax brackets. That's been dismantled. And if we are not taxing billionaires and the richest corporations and the wealthiest people at a higher level, like we used to in Iowa, then everybody else, and then we are left with the deficit in the budget, which has happened this year. The deficit this year is $900 million, I believe, and the answer to that right now from the State House has been, well, we're just gonna pull it from our savings account, and we all know that's not sustainable. So, fixing Medicaid, getting revenue for programs is what we need to do healthcare-wise right now. In the future, I'd like to see more upward progress, but I'm also gonna be transparent to tell you I can't do this myself. We're gonna need to grab some more seats in 2026 to work on the big picture.
That makes a really great point. A few months ago, we had a forum on Medicaid specifically,
Okay.
where we talked to a bunch of different providers along the spectrum of healthcare. Providers at the community health center, to the hospital, to adult daycare, to senior citizens retirement communities, and they all said the same thing, that when it comes down to it, they're gonna do what they can to help provide those same level of care to the folks that they serve, but
Okay.
it's gonna be harder and harder.
It is.
Yes.
It already is. It is. It's terrible. And the Medicare telehealth exception or the allowance has expired, which I know is a federal issue, but I really do want to emphasize to our House district voters that this is a big chance to send a message to the state of Iowa that we're tired of this and we would like change. And I think that message will then get nationwide coverage like Caitlin Dre's election did. And that lets us send a message to the US government as well that this is not acceptable. And so I'd like to see that, but I think I'm losing the question in my
No, you're.
excitement.
So you spoke a little bit about kind of mental health things that you see as a medical examiner. I would hope that we all know that the rates for suicide for veterans and farmers specifically are going up. Mental health and substance abuse services are limited in a lot of counties. So I'm wondering, what can you and the legislature do to expand access to these critical supports in this time, specifically of economic insecurity?
Yeah, and that all ties back to getting more tax revenue from the richest people so that we can have healthcare, and part of healthcare is mental health coverage, it is substance abuse coverage, and you know, some of the stories I've told or experienced along the way in this, I have had someone with multiple people with substance abuse disorders in the back of our volunteer ambulance, and they end up denying care, maybe even for serious injury, because they can't afford physical health care for their physical well-being, they can't afford it for their mental well-being, and they can't access it to recover from substance abuse. So it's all interconnected, it's all tied together, and I mean, I don't want to spend too much time talking about telehealth, But in rural Iowa, that's part of our infrastructure for mental health. And two ways that I see that, just as an everyday person and as an EMT, has been in the emergency room. We are utilizing telehealth to get people screened and evaluated on the mental health side to then try to find them a bed somewhere in the state if they need inpatient support. And we don't have enough beds for mental health, and certainly not for youth. But the other way that telehealth, it has helped us get by in rural areas is at some of our clinics. So where people would go for therapy or counseling, that all has to start with an evaluation. And that evaluation right now in the area where I live means you go to the provider's office, which usually has several providers. You have to sit and wait in that office with no appointment. So if you have a child with behavioral needs or you're experiencing a mental health crisis of your own, like you can already imagine how uncomfortable that is to sit and wait for your turn. But then when that time comes, the evaluator is generally over Zoom. So telehealth is important. It's not the whole picture, but those are some of the ways we're reaching rural people. And right now with the government, the federal government being shut down, that telehealth allowance for Medicare has not been extended past September 30th like it needed to be. And so we can't get reimbursement for that as providers, so we can't provide it. And we need to make it attractive to live and work in Iowa so we can keep college graduates here who want to work in these fields and or attract people from other areas, whether it be physicians or counselors or, substance abuse therapists. It's all interconnected. We have to have strong education. We have to have clean water. We have to have housing that's accessible and affordable. We have to have higher minimum wage to get people to want to live in rural Iowa so that we can have those services that everybody should be entitled to, getting their physical and psychological needs met through care.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. We're moving into hot.
I was already in hot, so, oh no, I was in medium,
You were
sorry.
in medium.
Oh, you gotta skip a whole bunch then. Okay.
I got hot and then wild.
All right, I got mango habanero. Must be my hot. Want some?
Yeah, come on down.
Okay, a lot of vinegar, though.
My upper lip is already sweating just smelling it.
I believe in you, Nikki. Look at that. Is it how much? Here, is this better? I don't want to get judged later than I was.
No, you're great.
Oh, it's building. Sweet though, this one. I don't know what mine is. You just got hot, so I think it's just settling.
It does taste like a. Which I guess is what it is. How's my favorite? How's that one, no?
It's spicy, it's hot.
Did you taste the mango?
It's just sweet. It's like sugary and my tongue's on fire. So, weird combination there.
All right.
That's not my top wing stuff. Okay.
I'm trying to be cool. I'm failing.
I do like, I might need to open the fridge case.
I know, I'm really trying not to.
Okay, it's okay. We're all friends here.
Okay, so you have been on the ball, running around, probably like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to really getting your campaign moving, because you do have an election on the
9th of December, just for this.
Yes.
So
What are
vote in November and then vote again in December.
What are you hearing from voters as you go door to door and travel the district? What are their hot topics that come up again and again?
That's a really good question. It's been some things that I expected: healthcare, education, public schools, feeding our neighbors, not taking SNAP and EBT benefits away. But at the Dorks, there's been a lot of emphasis on civility in government. And people are sick of fighting, they're sick of, extremists and partisanship, and they just want people to work together to move forward. And that is something I can handle. I'm a person with a great deal of empathy, and I can work with anyone. And an example I'll give is on a 911 scene, when we have a motorcycle crash or a motor vehicle collision with multiple cars, multiple patients, we show up and we do the work and we do it together, and it doesn't really matter who's there. I'm really good at putting bystanders to work if they're there. Firefighters are generally incident commanders, so we work with and give direction to law enforcement. We might have EMS mutual aid from different areas because it's hard to get an ambulance in rural Iowa, so they might be coming from different places. We work with dispatchers who are like the first responders, and we have to have clear, concise communication to get the job done, and I think that's the same at government. Like, we need to work together. When I'm on scene, I might have a helicopter to land on a highway, and we can't spend time fighting or just trying to figure out who's more important. We have one goal, and we work towards it quickly and show critical thinking skills. Those are the things we need in government, and that I'm hearing at the Doors that people are not seeing. That's probably the biggest one. People are literally using the word civility. Like, that shouldn't be a big ask, and especially not at the state level.
I feel like anybody encouraging civility at this point in 2025 is asking for revolutionary act, it feels like.
Yes, it's just crazy.
I know, and it's something that I know that I'm trying to espouse in my day-to-day dealings as well in government, so kudos to you for.
And I keep saying, I'm not fighting, I'm working, and that's what I've always done, is I've always been a person who shows up and does the work. And you need to do that if people are watching, if people are not watching, show up and do the work, and that's my goal for this seat as well.
We are working because my mouth is on fire.
Would you like some milk?
Nope. I really tried, the whole time you were talking, I was like, how can I wipe,
It's making my lips move
how
faster.
can I wipe my upper lip?
Well, I did request a roll of paper towels, and I received them, so I just got this little, what I do? I make it a fresh one ready.
What's been your biggest surprise or one of your most memorable moments on the campaign so far?
The coolest thing that I wasn't expecting has been being like so touched by the enthusiasm and the help. I'm a pretty self-sufficient person. I mean, we are a family that we don't ask for help, we don't expect help, and I've had so much help on this campaign that it's been like, oh, this is really cool. Whether that's been organizing events, it's been postcard writing, it's been hosting, things for me to come talk to people. So it's been, gosh, and the letters, like, I'm getting handwritten letters, even from other states, guys. And I should just do a video where I read them all.
You should.
They are so sweet. A lot of people who used to live here in District 7 and are seeing what we're trying to do are encouraging us, and I'm talking like front and back, handwritten. And sometimes a Post-it note and a donation, but the letters have been awesome. Seeing hope and optimism in people's eyes when I'm like, hey, they're like, who's this knocking at my door? You know, I'm like, hey, I'm this lady running for Iowa House. People haven't had that before. They haven't had people knocking their door, and certainly not a Democrat who's there to listen and ask what their issues are and see how we can help fix them. So that's been really exciting, and it keeps keeps the energy up here, which is what we need to do to get to special election date, December 9th.
I feel like that is one, if you're gonna have an advantage in an election, having it be a special election where it's all systems go from the get and then you're fast. Cause I think it's hard to like keep that momentum up through a long
It is.
extended campaign, so psyched for you. And I think my mom probably personally has contributed more to your postcard campaign
And any member of this state, yeah. It's been great, and it's been cool to see our surrounding counties, like, hey, how can we help? We can't vote in your district, but how can, like, our neighbors in Humboldt, in Ida County, in Carroll, in Crawford, in Fort Dodge, which is, you know, still Webster County, but not part of our district. That part's been really cool.
Well, we're about to get into the, you guys ask questions portion, but
We gotta go blazing first.
it's blazing time.
And I will say that, like, the level of my whole family is moving at for this special election for the campaign. It's not that different from how we live as volunteer first responders. Like, you are ready to go at all times. You don't know what every day is gonna look like, and the adrenaline or that cortisol level is like go, go, go. So it's not unknown for me. It's just not usually sustained for multiple weeks.
And we got paper towels. You asked and they're.
Thanks. Yeah, for my campaign team.
Cute little winky gave you. With your mama. Okay.
So I got blazing
I got
with
wine.
a G. It's just blazing. And this is our hottest.
This is our hardest.
This is our, like, we don't know the Schofield level because we don't. Do not, I know I'm gonna put it in my eyes on the drive home too.
My nose here is just burned. Smelling it.
You need like a headache?
I free.
Already.
Oh, yeah, paper. I don't think this one. But for you, District 7, I will put myself through personal pain.
Okay, we have to say enough.
Is that enough?
More.
Follow up with the blue cheese quickly.
I didn't feel like voting.
Oh, okay, it was back here.
Do you mind if I try one of yours?
Yeah. What do you, go for it.
Let's see what yours tastes like.
That's kind of a
Oh, I think yours is.
It's like, it's so hot, you can't taste the flavor because it's just burning.
It's more barbecue flavor than the top.
It's still building. But only my left eye is watering.
You have milk.
It was fine.
Nope, both
Okay.
eyes.
It was fine until I.
Here comes the mascara, guys.
I'm trying so hard to be.
I'm coughing for you.
We're not.
So,
These are not tears of joy.
the problem is, in this TV show, the host is used to it. I, however, am not. He's like real cool with all his questions that he asked, and I was
Whose
like,
idea was this?
I think it was mine.
I'm gonna hit some milk though.
Okay, all right, do we have questions from the audience, because I can't form a sentence? Yes, ma'am.
Do you still need help with postcards?
Yes, please. I have some in the vehicle.
Okay,
We'll look you up.
Yes. You still need, that's going all the way down. I feel like my tongue is on fire.
I'm not gonna be able to see you to drive home, so.
And I have to do.
Jeff, please ask.
You try, Jeff.
Our town law is
Right.
it was expired, they all took state patients only. So the state dumped a whole small nursing home state, they closed. We are terribly short of, they say, memory care. People are having to go halfway across the state to find a facility because Friendship Haven is full. Trinity no longer has 3 East, which was their mental health thing for years. I was on ambulance for 30-some
Thank you.
years. And I know we come back the next day and that same person for mental health was sitting in the ER.
Yes,
And it breaks your heart when you're an ambulance person. This town's been my whole life. I care for it. It's deeply read. But we all have a right to free speech. We all have needs. They're losing out. Nationally, the tariffs are gonna kill our farmers and kill our small churches. And, please come up with some solutions if you get down there. Talk to Cross, because nobody listens.
so it's a lot, but for me to take all that in and try to categorize it and summarize it, I would say I feel like rural western Iowa gets ignored in Des Moines. And so we need somebody who cares enough and who is loud enough to speak up for us, and I know I can do that. If I care enough to eat
Blazing on.
blazing hot vinegar pepper madness with my friend Nikki Conrad, then I can do hard things.
You can do really hard things, 'cause Doug was asking a very serious question about the people of Galilee. and the people
Yeah.
Of,
While our mouths are burning.
well, I'm trying to figure
Mascara is
out.
running down
Yeah.
our face, yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, Amber.
So Iowa was second from the last for economic growth. How do we restart?
People need to have money so they can spend money to put it back into the economy. And for one thing, $7.25 an hour minimum wage is unacceptable. Again, this is also interconnected. The idea that we need jobs in small towns, we need good education so people want to live here. We need a soybean market, we need a beef market, and to not give them away to China and Argentina, it's a lot, and I'm not saying I can do all of it, and certainly not in the first year, but I'm aware, I'm hearing the concerns, and it's time for change.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I was there, like, where do you live and how many kids do you have?
Yeah, we didn't really much of that.
The question is, where do you live and how many kids do you have? And are they also spicy food connoisseurs?
We could find out.
I'll try a wing.
You want to?
Yeah, I'll try a wing.
Down.
Extra?
Should I go for the hot?
This is not, let's just place it. Medium is really delicious. Garlic parm is really good.
I'll try medium.
Wow.
These are more traditional buffalo ones.
I guess we can do that personal introduction part. That's blue cheese.
It's not bad.
Which one's not? I don't want the hot.
This is, that's.
Or wait, no, is it medium? I'll do medium.
Okay. That's my favorite one. Yeah, that's good.
Is this in
Okay, but to get back to the question, I live in Stafford County, south of Odebolt, with my family. My husband's a mechanic. He owns a one-man auto repair shop that for a year and a half got to be a two-man auto repair shop until tariffs basically killed us on cost of parts and tires, and he recently had to let his employee go. I have two kids. They are 14 and 12, so they are in 7th grade and 9th grade, and my first and best campaign volunteers. I have 4 dogs, which is crazy, but fun, and we have, 40 chickens? 4?
I think 50.
Around
50
40 or
chickens?
50.
Don't show them the video.
Yeah, they were not harmed in this. So yeah, we're between Odebo and Tyron on an acreage.
That leads into a really great question. For folks who don't know, where is House District 7?
Okay, House District 7 is Stack County, Calhoun County, Pocahontas County, and Western and Southern Webster counties, which excludes Fort Dodge. It's one of the biggest geographic, I think, House districts. There are several that are large geographically, but we're definitely in it.
I was fine until it came back.
It's a tough
Or
one.
how are you doing?
Well, I'm almost done with my water and you haven't.
Want another one?
Not yet, thank you.
Any other questions? I'm gonna keep looking at good stuff.
All right, yeah, can I pick now that
You can pick now,
I've done the painful?
unless anyone would like to.
Would anyone like a
Comment.
blazing? I'm afraid to like touch it to move it.
I have a question. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Yeah. One of the things that you alluded to already is people haven't been listening to you. People haven't had a choice. I know that a lot of people are going to institute, Nikki, you've done great things in county government with helping draw people in and keep them informed. How do you plan to keep your widespread district involved after this great little?
Yeah, I think door knocking is not just for campaigning.
Right.
I think it's a way to reach people. A great majority of our district isn't hanging out watching social media, and they're maybe not going to county party events or even more public events that I've attended. So I think meeting people where they're at is important, and I think for the layout of this district, it would be also wonderful to have some Zoom town halls. I've taught community college for 3 colleges, and one thing I've done for adult part-time students who are also working and raising families is have like Zoom office hours where people can pop in and get their questions answered or their input listened to. And, but I'm, open to suggestions, honestly, on that.
Well, I haven't seen this level of engagement in this district ever, and I'm old.
I have not met any of my Iowa representatives, and I haven't seen
Wow.
an opportunity to. I've heard after the fact that they've visited some corporations and some businesses in my area and talked to a select few, but they haven't been out and about hearing what
For a long time.
matters to people for a very long time.
Thank you.
One more question.
Yeah.
About this idea. Legislature, year round, Saturday and Sundays only, the committee year.
I don't know yet because I haven't seen what the work looks like yet. So I would have to defer. The question was kind of about a change in the legislative session to more of a Saturday and Sunday workday, if I'm understanding right, and then committee work throughout the week. And I have some friends already in the House who I would defer those questions to.
Why just means so anybody could run?
Oh,
Because they do the weekend with
Okay.
working other.
yeah,
Committee work isn't gonna be all the time.
right. And I feel that this isn't, we're supposed to be able to have everyday people represent us. But the idea that we're this far from Des Moines and you have to take this time away from your family and your job to do an extra job essentially is a lot. I am in a good place for that because I'm self-employed right now, and I have a great group of clients and patients who will flex their schedule around mine so I can continue with that work as well. But I would say it's a good thought for discussion. I also know people who work nights. And I know people who work weekends, so I'm not sure what the answer is on scheduling, but the idea of like maybe collecting some data and listening to what would encourage people to run and use their voice.
We're gonna have one last question over here, and then if someone could check online to see if there's any questions online, that would be great. Claudia, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just am interested, as you door knock and go to places, what is the most, what kind of disinformation are you getting, and how can we correct that information?
There's a lot of disinformation out there, and I empathize with those people who have been lied to and who have been fed these scare tactics that really, I mean, to summarize, to answer for you, it has been about targeting groups as others. And that makes me sick. That is not what this country is about. But I've been at doors where people have this idea that undocumented immigrants are getting Medicare. Not accurate. And then I'm spending my time, you know, one-on-one trying to educate them. I've been sent some messages online about trans kids in sports, and I've had to kind of break down the reality of those numbers for people. It's not necessarily,
I'm sorry.
you know, it's not the topic that those people should probably be putting their efforts into, meaning if they're gonna decide to vote on an issue because they're concerned about trans kids in sports, then I would encourage them to look at the numbers and the frequency that that's even occurring in Iowa. And but back to the idea of groups are being targeted, that's an authoritarian regime. That's a way to start picking off people who are different than whatever some party has decided is their ideal, and it's disgusting. And so as far as educating people on the misinformation that's being put out there, we have to go back to empathy. These people have been tricked, they've been lied to, and we have to meet them where they're at, and I need everybody to help with it because I cannot knock every door. I cannot tell every consumer of fake media that they've been lied to, but they really have, and I'm sad for them, and it's gotten us into a bad place, and I'm ready to dig out of that place. And what I want for my family is what I want for everyone. I don't want groups being targeted like some people I think do, or being led to believe they should want that. Do we have any questions online?
No, that's what I was checking when I
Okay.
turned it on.
Okay, so before we get into the trivia answers, what message do you want to have voters know about you as we wrap up this, as they go into?
To know about me?
Or what would you like them to
We've
take
got one
with
thing
them?
online.
Oh, we have
we
one
do?
question online.
It's from Megan Lang.
Okay.
She says, I don't have any questions. I'm just watching in support and anxiously waiting for you to open your phone to see her message. But this relentless, fearless woman has now managed to achieve receiving the pharmacy agreement for her volunteer department to move up to an ALS level service. Impressive. Her motivation, just because a few years ago there's only a couple of EMR level responders. If that doesn't show the progress she will do at the state level for the everyday people, I don't know what does.
Well, that's a great example. It's one thing to be campaigning and feel like you're bragging about yourself so that you can then go and do this selfless thing of helping others. But what Megan's pointing out is that I built an ambulance service from the ground up. We had just a first responder service with a very limited number of first responder level. We have not only become a transporting ambulance, we have upgraded obviously to the EMT level, and now what she's talking about is we're in the process together of working towards the advanced EMT level, which is the opposite of kind of what's happening with a lot of rural ambulances right now. So thank you. What I would like people to know is that I show up and do the work, and I don't stop because I believe in continuous improvement. I would like people to be brave and vocal and vote on December 9th, because you're gonna have to get out and vote just for this issue.
Is there early voting?
Yes.
There will be. There will be.
Okay, well, I am so glad you did this with me today.
Let's not.
Let's never do this again.
No.
All right, in case you want to know the answers, I'm gonna go through the answers of it, and
I
then
would know.
we'll get, the winners up here to get their, pick out their, sauces. So, the fourth who's considered the father of American fire service is Ben Franklin. In 2023, Iowa professional firefighters celebrated their 100th birthday. In 1874, fire captain David Kenyon invented the fire pole in Chicago. Modern firefighters must be able to get dressed in under 2 minutes.
I would argue 90 seconds, including air pack and math. We go for 60 seconds for bunker. You're an overachiever. Continuous improvement.
There's first state level fire training in the United States, Iowa has, and it's Fire School 1925 at Iowa State University.
Yeah, great.
And the same day Chicago fire killed 300 people. There was a more tragic fire in Wisconsin that killed 12,000. So, and then what percentage of Iowa firefighters are volunteer? 90%. To be exact, 92%.
I was gonna say 94, so I would have lost if it was the Price is Right.
Alright, so our winners. Getting to choose first from our four spots is Jacob. The Big Bad Buffalo, the Bee's Knees, the Asian Glazing, or the Parmesan Garlic.
Intern with the Iowa Democratic Party.
Thank you for having me. Webster County has been great to work with and everything. You have great leadership here too, so thank you.
It's Sophie, oh, you got the next one? And then Anne Marie. Big Bad Buffalo. Ooh. Yeah, I got Big Bad. And then you get the Asian. Thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting. Please, before you leave, if you haven't gotten signs, put it out in your yard, be brave. And feel free to stop and talk with Rachel afterwards.
We also have postcards, so if you're interested in writing postcards, come to me and then I'll write your name down to send you a link for addresses and what to put on them.
Thank you.
Leave it, please. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. I will. I'm going to end it now.
Maybe we should have been able to.
It's yours. Thank you. It smells so.
Hey.
We have. We got one more question. Okay, we have one more question on the live stream. Not to sound rude, or from Candace Mezek, not
Okay.
to sound rude, but what do you think about people of the spectrum? How are we going to help protect our children?
That is yet another group that has been targeted in the last year. And what I want for my kids is what I want for your kids. I have specialized in autism in my career, and we need all kinds of brains. We need neurodivergent people to do cool things. And thank you. Thank you for the question. All right. Hi, Candace.
Hold it to the.
Thank you for asking.